All right, this is true love for you people here today because it's like 96 and it's noon, 12:30. I had a couple of Zoom meetings this morning, so I do want to get the RS cleaned. And part of the advantage of having two cars instead of having 5 of them is that I can hopefully keep them clean. Actually, I guess I technically have 3 cars with the Raptor. So I'm going to keep the RS clean, wash it once every week and a half or so instead of once a month like I normally do. It rains every single day, so it's kind of a moot point to even do this. But why not? I mean, I want to keep the car clean, and even though it's going to hit the rain again probably today, you want to keep it clean and keep it that way. And that helps keep contamination off the surface and all that as well. I'll wash the Raptor this weekend. The M3 is getting polished again. We'll talk about that a little bit here today. But since I'm going to wash the car, we might as well use the cameras since we have them. Rusty's sending me the 150 milliliter version of this, a little taller foam cannon, quick disconnect funnel. So the second prototype should be here shortly. But for the time being, all I do is do that, fill it up to the top. I pressed my luck there. Okay, it made it. And then let's get our sponge ready to go using our typical Adams Car shampoo. And then of course the car, the GT3 has full S-Tech Dynashield on it and has G-Technic Halo. So this will be the second wash I've done since doing the PPF. And we're gonna do the full wheel cleaning as well. So we're gonna do a full cleaning, not my quick cleaning version, because we can. It's a Thursday, early afternoon. Why the heck not? Just add a little bit more and we're good to go. So we'll let that sit. We can put our soap away. Put this in our soap bucket and let's get moving. All right, let's do the wheels. Now I'm looking at them, they don't look particularly dirty. And we talk about this all the time, that everybody's always talking about me cleaning a clean car. It's about maintaining your car. The car's not clean. Remember, it's white and we're in like this bright sunlight, so it's always going to look clean on camera. But the car's dirty, I promise you. I'm not going to drive my GT3 through the mud, so. This little pocket here on these wheels tends to shoot water in my face. Close the doors. Really like to revamp the wash bay out here. I'm working on mindfulness. I'm trying not to have too many projects, and so that way I can enjoy the project that I'm working on while I'm working on it. This is P&S Brake Buster. Same thing with this, P&S Brake Buster. Both, the foam cannon's undiluted now because I have a damaged bottle that I was leaking all over my cabinet. And so we're kind of using the product straight up. I find it foams a little bit better if you do dilute it, add a little bit of water to it. That's the only reason I dilute it when using in the foam cannon. And my wheels are coated anyway, so they don't need a lot of aggression, and then they're carbon ceramic. So yeah, the RS is doing great. Now if I can just actually drive it somewhere. I'm stuck to like a phobic 2-mile radius here. Ugh, my life. So I've got all these fancy cars, the GT4 coming that I can't drive. God dang it. But I'm working on it. I'm getting close. This has happened several times before, where I get in these phobia loops where I can't go where I want to go. This will be the second time we use it. Fresh lambskin mitt. And these wheels, there's been no compromise. So the little bit of driving that I have been doing, these feel like stock. There's no floatiness or issues. I mean, you'd expect any kind of high-end wheel You know, Vossen kind of has a bad rap with certain people from certain forums from back when they were starting out, but I feel like they've really come around. They're not so like Miami, New York feeling, that kind of douchey, supercar only, elitist, but make junk products that I feel like their reputation used to be, kind of like ADV.1 or ADV.1 back in the day from the forums where they had a few wheels that cracked and the guy disappeared and all of that. But you know, I always felt like Vossen was part of that crew, that shady crew. But all the people I've met, my friend Kyle that used to work for Adams now works for them as well. So I think they've really come around. And then this is my second set of Vossens. The wheels are just really nice. I should switch out the bottle. Shoot, that's what I should have done. This is one of the version 1 of the Pressols that's bit the dust. Telling you, once you get the tires set up and accepting the tire dressing, it's just like right now, we cleaned any surface dirt off of it, just a quick little basic agitation with the not so aggressive wheel cleaner, and then we'll add another layer to it and just keep building on that, just keep topping it off. Man, it just looks so good. It stays clean, there's no dirt. Oh, man. But it takes some effort, and I know a lot of people are looking for like that perfect solution, that like the solution that you're going to put on is last forever. The way you make it last forever is you keep topping it, keep maintaining it. It kind of goes back to hopefully at some point we'll have the coating version for tires that we have for paint now. But remember, back, even just a few years ago, I was sort of pretty stuck on wax and just maintaining it, continuing to top it, continuing to maintain it and strip it off and start over 6 to 8, 9 months down the road. Well, coatings have come around, PPF has come around a lot and has improved drastically. But for now, with tire dressing, it's a lot like we used to do with wax, in that you're just topping it off, you're maintaining it, you want to keep it looking good. And the OG tire dressing, same thing with Carpro Pearl, requires that. I just feel like I get a deeper, matter, blacker looking finish from this than I do with Pearl. As much as I love Pearl, I do think this is better. So we're going to keep working on cycling the tires and keeping them looking good. What I'm working on here today, I plan to do this wash, and I have a tendency to freak out about having too many projects to work on. So I'm just slowed down a little bit on Milwaukee and doing some of the things I want to do. There's no rush. I got all afternoon to do this. And because I'm not in any rush, it'll get done quicker and more seamlessly without me freaking out about it. And then hopefully I can start driving my car instead of overthinking everything I do in my life. But Emmanuel's coming on Friday, tomorrow, today's Thursday, to come and work on the garage design. We're going to pick out all the stuff. Unfortunately, I don't think his depth is only 21 feet. As much as I want to do the MSS Plus cabinets, I just don't think it's going to work. I think it'll be such a disadvantage to him if we try to squeeze those in there, because they're 6 inches deeper, and so he's going to have a hard time parking any normal sized car in the garage. But we're going to sit down and figure that out, doing air compressor and the whole 9. Pressure washer, paint, Swiss tracks, tools, Figure out how to organize some Milwaukee stuff in there as well. It's gonna be good. It's gonna be real, real good. It's gonna be a lot of fun. Oh, if anybody wants, I gotta sell this showcase back here, the big one. I've done testing it. It's really great. It's just I don't find myself parking in it very much, so it's time to move on. So if anybody wants that, it's $4,000 retail. I'm selling it for $3,000 shipped. And I've had it for like 2 months out here. So it's, you know, and it's mine, so you know it's well maintained and in really nice shape. Yeah, these wheels aren't bad to clean. Pretty enjoyable. You got this little divot here you got to get in, but not too bad. Especially in the rear, I can get all the way in here, no problem. I'm kind of torn to mess with. You know, I really want to do the Dundon setup, but this AWE exhaust is just so darn good. There's no. You know, I'm not making any more power, but this is a car that I don't particularly feel is underpowered. You know, you don't feel, it doesn't feel like a slouch. So gaining, you know, 25, 30 horsepower would certainly be noticeable on a, you know, if you were doing a pull against a car without it. I don't know, I'm just torn to mess with it because it's so good right now. I'm so glad I'd planned to do the Porsche decals on the side. I felt like because of the black door handles and the big bulky black inlet, inlets to the intakes. I thought I would need the Porsche logo, the GT3 RS logo on the side, but I'm so glad I didn't. Once we did the black wheels, I don't even feel the need to lower it in the front. I don't want to mess with it. It's just, it handles so well. Alignment's spot on. Having cup twos in the car is so good. Even with a little bit of driving I've still done some pretty aggressive stuff around here in short spurts. Man, it's just, oh, it's so good. And I love now, you know, for whatever reason, you know, I hate red and yellow in the interior, but I love the green interior for some reason. You know, it's just pure opinion. But getting rid of the green on the outside of the car, getting the gray caps instead of the green RS, oh, it's just so my style. Taking the emblems off the car, yeah. The only thing that I don't love, again, I don't love the black door handles, and I don't love the wart on the roof. The wart is white, which should be black, and the handles are black, which should be white. And no, I'm not vinyl wrapping anything. That's ridiculous. This is a $240,000 car. I'm not putting vinyl wrap on it. I'm not a baby, a grown-up. Grown-ups that like paint looking nice aren't vinyl wrapping their car. I remember back in the old days, when we washed my car, there was this one, you know, I get these periodic haters that come and watch every single video. He was yelling at me saying I was blowing water up into the exhaust, I was gonna rust out the engine. He wouldn't let up. Every single video I made, he made a comment on that. Yeah, man, having the car, this is what I've been so frustrated on my M3. I just want to have my M3 like this, just dialed in. I just keep screwing stuff up, testing out different techniques, like, you know, with the can coat. I have a much different perspective than I did yesterday, probably because I had a therapy appointment this morning, but I'm so bent out of shape that I want my M3 to get to that perfection level. But if it's there, then what am I going to do with it? Like with this car, you know, I'm kind of running out of stuff to do. It is nice to have it dialed in, but I also enjoy the process of getting it. So when I make all these mistakes, again, it's part of life, I should just be present with it instead of, I'm always dreaming about the perfect end. So then I don't live in the imperfect present, which is where all the magic is. But I'm working on that. I have to. What I need is some mountain therapy. I need to get my car to the mountains, go up there by myself, drive. That always fixes me. You just ship the sucker up there, and so yeah, the can coat thing is very clear as I noticed, just the air circulation in HQ. It's just, which is great. It keeps you from getting all sweaty, but the mini split is basically running all the time, just blowing air, and so just didn't know any better. I didn't use the product before. Now I know. Turns out, the product is super stout. I mean, considering it wouldn't come off. At least the dots wouldn't come off. The leveled version of the coating came right off. There's no problem. But the non-leveled little dots that cured weeks in the sun, because I purposely took the car out and let it heat cycle in the sun because I wanted to see if the water spots came back. And so I baked that darn coating on there. I let it cure hardcore. And it was really hard to see all of the overspray until you looked at it at the right angle and the right light. So, my bad. It's not a Geon problem. My guess is, if you never had that problem, if you didn't know about it and you didn't have it and you were doing it in, like if I was doing it out here, you would think that the water, if there isn't air circulating, it's rather stagnant in your regular garage or whatever area you're doing it in. The atomization of the product, you do a couple of spritzes on a towel, boom, boom, and then the excess you do it away from the car and it falls to the ground. Whereas in my garage, this air is circulating, and sure enough, now we know. Don't do that. But all the quirks of that product, doesn't excite me. I'd rather just do the full-on coating because it's not really any easier than doing a regular coating. Maybe it saves you 30%. But I don't love the way it looks either. So my product test that was designed to be a really quick, simple, couple of minute deal, maybe an hour or two long test, then I just remove it real quickly, turned into a 20-hour, now I know. Put that in the Rolodex of my brain. Really digging my wheel process. It's funny though, every time I've made a little change in my wheel process, I'm like, this is it, I'll never change this. And then I change it up. Of course, the new part of the process is to use the foam cannon. Switching over real quickly from the nozzle back to the foam cannon. I'm gonna try to go for a long drive this evening after the gym. Like once I get past this corridor, then I start freaking out. It's ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. It makes no sense. Oh boy. People always freak out about overcomplicate wheel cleaners. Like talking about, oh, the wheel cleaner's going to strip off this or that. I don't think so. If it was that easy to strip off a coating, then we would just use wheel cleaner to strip the coating to start fresh. Instead, you got to compound it. So it's not really doing anything other than just creates a little lubrication and helps make sure the embedded brake dust and stuff. So clearly I don't really need it on these wheels because they're carbon ceramics, but I get lots of lubrication from this. There's no iron removing properties of this product because I don't really need that. So then I don't have to deal with the smell of of an iron remover. So this is pretty good. I don't see, there's really no negative to it. I'm gonna get some nice clean wheels, and on my RS, and I've done this back to back here, but generally I'll only do this deeper wheel cleaning. I'll do more of an Adams car shampoo surface level cleaning. I'll do that like 3 out of 4 or 2 out of 4 washes. I guess I could say 1 out of 2 washes. Got a bunch of nibs that I got to cut off that were stuck in the soap and the bead, and now they've released from cleaning. Look at how good that is. So good. All right, let's rinse the car, get our buckets set up. I'm gonna get rid of this. This is the Griots, Adams. They're pretty much the same thing that I have in the store, but I think I'm gonna transition to Sonic. Whatever Chinese company makes that, makes the Craftsman stool. It's way more comfortable. I'm gonna start carrying those in the store, I think, and bring that out here. I don't really love this seat. I'll talk about that more maybe in the next video. That's it. It's coated, so I don't have to clean anything else. It's done. Touchless washing. Or not. See about filling this up with our funnel on. Yeah, funnel slows it down too much. There you go. Cap. I think we got some of these. I don't know if they sold out again, but I think we have some in stock again. I know that we had another batch come. I don't know how many sold, so if you want one, they're crazy expensive, but we do have them. But I think it's pretty freaking awesome. Eventually we'll kind of meet the demand and have them in stock. But they're handmade, one-off. But isn't that way nicer than screwing stuff on, even though it looks a little funky? It's functionally excellent. Not so visibly excellent looking that way, but it sure makes the function a little bit nicer to work with. Pretty legit. Gotta take apart my pressure washer. It's leaking a little bit out the side. All right, got us our 2 buckets set up. Microfiber Madness and Credipad. And we do our thing. No need to use any pressure, especially since I'm already cleaning a clean car. The only thing I'm going to change is to get the G-Technic G1 off the car. Get woofs on the glass. Other than that, my RS is ready to go hit the streets. Let's just hope it's hitting the streets by me and not somebody else. Dang it, I always do that. I always lean over and get my freaking legs all dirty. I'm actually not that hot today. I'm gonna just take it slow. I'm moving like a sloth here today, so purposely, so I don't get all sweaty. But it's hot, like unexplainably hot. We hired all these new guys from all over the country, and they started a kickball team, and a bunch of babies that are all cramping up and getting injured playing kickball. I'm not playing, but they can't handle the heat. I've been CrossFitting crazy. Somehow I gained 2 or 3 pounds. I've been doing it for almost 8 weeks now. I'm getting in shape. But the old 40-year-old fatty's holding on strong. I'm just trying to power through. Calories in, calories out, but I need to outwork, and the diet never works. But I'm feeling pretty good about that. It's a lot of fun to be somewhat competitive at times in some of the workouts. Oh, we got to do our we got to do our deleashing modification here today. We'll do that afterward. I keep saying that and I keep forgetting to do it. That's modification number 1. So when I know my priorities are out of whack, I still have a leash on the gas cap. Everybody knows that you do that and denib the tires first. Nice and slow. Don't move too fast. I don't want to get sweaty. It's inevitable once I start drying. I start sweating crazy. Yeah, this film is really nice. I don't know that I'm going to be able to go and do any other film again. This Dynashield is freaking awesome. I love not having the Porsche logo there. It's so cool. I also love how much it angers everybody. Not everybody, but some people. I like touching the paint too, so I'm bonding with it. Let's see. Yeah, I like washing the M3 more than this car. I don't mind washing this car, but something about the proportions of the M3 are just very washable. Now if I could stop messing it up, make it even better. Yeah, I love all the black trim on this. Usually keep it looking clean and nice. Black trim is fantastic. In this car, I don't really see the need to do and spend $15,000 doing all kinds of carbon fiber changes to all the black plastic on this. I like the way it looks as it is. I also want to do a quick vacuum and a little interior wipe down as well. We'll see. We'll see how sweaty and soaking wet I get. Gotta figure out what personalized plate I'm gonna do on the GT4. I hadn't even really thought about it. I don't think I'll even do one on the Civic. Civic should be back in about 2 weeks, maybe 3 weeks. Got some more spoon parts. Forget what else I'm waiting on to finish the project. I got my S2000 wheel, which is a freaking disaster. I sent that back. said try again. Yeah, I gotta wash the truck here. I gotta do another wash and talk on that. The truck is a much bigger project, especially in the summer when it's hot. Alright, let's rinse it. The hose isn't really fighting me here today. And why was I having such a hard time with it last week? It was all kinking up. The only positive to having to do this all the time is it does keep everything clean. You know, I blow it off and then I broom it off all the time, so it stays really nice and clean out here. So if I did drop a towel or something, it's not the end of the world. Someday when I get rich and famous, I'll pour this concrete out here. And maybe actually build a garage. It's a bit ironic that Obsessed Garage doesn't have a garage at his house. Can't have it all. So I can't drive cars and I don't have a garage. And I have a channel all about cars and garages. It's a bit ironic. Got this thing like super dry. Me, on the other hand, not so dry. So let's see how this does this time around with the windows, because it was super smeary and funky. The bead maker and the G1 was not playing well together. Do the top of the car. Let's see if it does any better this time around. Could have just been the initial application, but really didn't play well. Last time I did the car, it was just super slimy and smeary, and it seems to already be doing better. So I think, you know, when people have issues with product not working the way they intend, the way that they see me using it, I think a lot of times it's the underlying product that you're putting it on. Some stuff just doesn't play as well together as you'd like, especially in the initial application. And boy, is it nice dealing with a well-maintained car without any. Like, I feel like finally on this car, there's like nothing that's, every car that I get, I always end up doing crap that I wish I didn't do. This one doesn't have that. It only took me 4 GT3s to get there. Wait, this is my 3rd GT3, right? Yeah. 4 911s to get to this point. Can't tell yet if it's doing okay on the windows or not. Gosh, these towels are so good. They get really nice about halfway through their cycle. They get super soft. And then eventually they get loaded up with silicon dioxide and you have to toss them and do something else. Get another set. I think we might be good now on the window. What's up, KB? What are you guys doing? What else we got going on here? Yeah, it's still smearing a little bit. And I think once it dries, it's not going to do well. I don't know. Just don't know. What else can I not complain about today? This is a non-complaining day. Yeah, the humidity must not be as high because I feel like it's evaporating crazy fast out here. The water on the ground. So just section up the car. Try to figure out the most direct path to getting the car dried and drying aided without overspraying onto the panel, the adjacent panels. So I'm doing sections that are not too big, but you know, big enough to get the car done in a reasonable amount of time. Trying to spray in a direction like I just cleaned that window, trying not to spray the product all over the window, and then work my way from top down. Yeah, some days, I mean, you saw, if you watch the M3 wash and talk video, I had to use 3 towels. I'm only needing to use 2 towels here now. I think it's dependent on the ambient humidity and how much water I got off the car in the blowing off step. Oh, my legs are sore. I'm doing a couple hundred wall balls the other day. And thrusters yesterday. The home theater, I'm starting to figure stuff out. You know, I did a projector in there, and it won't pass 4K 60. So I got a true, tested, certified 48 gigabits per second fiber optic cable because I need a 100-foot run. So that should be here tomorrow, and then the guys are coming tomorrow to run that cable. And then we have to decide, does the projector need to be swapped? I'm pretty sure it does because there's a rainbow in the chipset. And then I'm probably going to get a different screen. They spec'd a 1.4 gain screen, and so the problem is you get sparkle they call it. So it adds gain, makes it brighter, but in a dark, controlled room, then you can see, like, when you have a bright scene, you can see all of the grain of the screen. Dang it! If only we could all wake up in the morning and know how everything in the world works. I always have to learn the hard way, apparently. That's just the way I like it, I guess. Yeah. See, look at me. I'm even sitting down, enjoying the drying process. Yeah, this film is real nice, people. Real nice. The S-Tech. So if your guy doesn't do it, talk him into calling up S-Tech USA and getting approved for it, because it's freaking awesome. Once they have a full gamut of templates for the installers, game over. But then again, some people want a really thick film. That's not what this is. Like if you're a track bro, you're heading to the track all the time, then you would want, I don't think I would do this film. I would do some 10 mil or 11 mil thick and just deal with the fact that it's not going to look very good. Most track bros love decals anyway, so they're going to have the car covered in vinyl. You know, old man cool Porsche mode, you know, where you put Martini livery on the car for some reason. Sorry to all my old man Porsche buddies that like that stuff, but so that, you know, having imperfect orange peely film won't matter as much because you got scratched up looking vinyl all over the car anyway, because as soon as you touch that vinyl it scratches. I'll come back and do the door jambs at the end. God dang, this looks good. Let's do the front. And aqueducts have really grown on me. I didn't like them at first, but you kind of, once you get used to them, seeing them there, breaking up the hood, you get over it. Knowing that all that Lady Lake neighborhood driving I'm doing creates a lot of extra downforce and brake cooling for all those power stops I'm doing. It gives you peace of mind in my 1 mile square radius that I can go. You gotta laugh at yourself, people. Take myself a little less seriously every day. So taking a little time off this week from the Milwaukee project. We'll get back to it next week. Get a bunch of crybabies yelling at me for loving a product too much, wanting to learn all about it. I've been much less confident about things that have worked out really well for me than this. I'm supremely confident that the body of information, you know, the videos that come at the end of this discovery process will be the ones that will be of the most value. The difference is on my channel, you know, what I could do is just do all this discovery on my own and not bring you along. But I choose, and I've always chosen, to bring you along via videos on the entire ride. You know, in the very beginning I didn't as much because I was just sharing what I already knew. Now I share what I don't know, and sharing that ascent, if you will, that knowledge ascent, or that knowledge pursuit, the pursuit of wisdom. And I think that the vast majority of the silent audience really appreciates that, but the vocal people, the vocal minority, are all that I hear telling me how I'm a moron and that they're going to unsubscribe and they hate me, kind of thing. But I have to keep pushing forward and ignore that, because I know the body of work, once we get through the entire, you know, Milwaukee line, and then the next line and the next line and the next line of other products, at the end of this journey, I'm going to have an extremely robust knowledge base that's going to be of even more extreme value than what I have now. That's already pretty valuable. But, you know, I'm human. I hear the noise. I'm listening. Maybe I just shouldn't listen. But the project is so satisfying to just, you know, the way that I think about things is I think about it like as if I had like a bunch of Legos as a kid. And let's pretend there were no instructions on this Lego set. I would open up the box and I would start to categorize all the Legos, you know, all the different sizes and types and colors, and kind of break it down, and then I would, you know, put them in subsets, and the value of doing that, you know, by the end of the Lego project, I'd likely be able to write a manual on how to build whatever it is I was building. And so I'm kind of doing that same thing on a much larger scale, with much more expensive things in the you know, all the Milwaukee Tools, and taking the catalog, starting with the catalog, which anybody could do. You start with the catalog, and then you just kind of work through the catalog. Say, if I had an infinite budget and I just wanted a set of tools with no constraints, to say I want a complete set of everything they make, you know, what would I want? And so I'm taking it one step further, and then I could probably get pretty close
by just shopping the catalog and reading the descriptions and all of that. And instead, I decided to buy all of the product, partly so that I can share it on camera as well. But I decided to get all the product, even the ones that I'm fairly certain I'm not going to want, just so that I can be sure, be certain that I can roll those out. And I only have to do this once. And then I can use that information. Oh, shoot. I can use that information to then compile a list of the products that I want, put those in my cabinet, and then start using them. And then we'll have data of the products used, which I don't really have. I have on some of them, but not all of them. And so even the initial me going through the catalog is, in comparison to most people, especially you guys that are following me, even that first step is valuable to some. And the second step is valuable to another group, which adds a greater audience of people that it might be of value to. And then the next step of actually using the tools and figuring out what works and what doesn't, and what breaks and what doesn't, and what the warranty is like, and all of that, and how does is one key worth it, and digging into using that app, and just continue to dig further and further and further, and then talking to the engineers about their favorite tools. And then I've got the battery crap, I can't remember that. It's BIC, Battery Innovation Council, I think it's called. And so they're coming to HQ to educate me even a little bit more. And so all these little progressive steps, start to finish, at the end of the day, adds more and more value to the world. And I don't have to be a blue-collar carpenter in order to appreciate and learn about what the best planer is, or nailing tool is, and it probably isn't Milwaukee, but I want to know inside the Milwaukee line. And then if I find myself using that all the time, then I would want to then go find, well, what is Festool? Do they make the best one, or who makes the best product? But that's going to take years and years and years of searching, wisdom searching, in order to get there. And I like that process. The hardest thing I'm having is I want to end up at where I end up today, and that's not going to happen. It's going to take years to get there. So the Milwaukee discovery will also help me create a process around the next product line, and the product lines before Milwaukee are the ones that have prepared me for Milwaukee, and what works and what doesn't, and how to make it through, and how to get organized. And so I've said this a few times on maybe the podcast, but even just the they have 5 different spreadsheets that I have to work with, and just working through the spreadsheets and understanding them, and it's all helping me build that knowledge base. And then of course now I have an amplified knowledge base, so I have Kyle and Bryce and Mike and Jeff, and now Tommy joined the tech support team, and I'm asking Lewis to learn how to sell the product so he could become the OGHQ tour guide. And then of course Chris knows the product pretty well, my dad, Ted. So we have some amplified knowledge pursuit from having more than just one person know it all. And that's where I think Obsessed Garage has become how it became a brand, and why I think it's going to continue to get bigger. And I think I'll always have the people saying, oh, you're doing it and just selling out, and you're just a product channel, and blah, blah, blah. Well, maybe. And so what if it is? It's a what I'm interested in channel. That's what it is. What I'm really interested in is having this and all the door jambs clean, car is dialed in, then all these little minute details, all these little just touch-ups, even though it takes me 2 hours to do it, and the car just stays really well maintained. Even though it's going to rain today and ruin all this I just did, if I just keep doing this, it'll always be nice and maintained. Look at that. Yeah, I was actually dreading this wash here today because I thought it was going to be too hot. It's actually pretty enjoyable. Other than the haziness I'm getting on my glass, I don't love. That's a wrap on the drying. Let's do our wheels and tires. Let's do our glass first. Gotta get this off. It's not working. You can see it's all hazing up. And we'll clean the glass. This is a step I haven't had to do in a long time because Beadmaker plays so nicely with Wolf's glass sealant. But it's not playing nicely with G1 at all. That's better. All my glass towels are dirty. I was using them somewhere else. Actually, they're in the house, clean. I just didn't bring them out. Visible glass is pretty awesome. So the flex stuff is up. I hope we sell a bunch of those. I really like them. I think we will sell quite a bit of them. I can use that to as my into Ego. I think also all the Milwaukee stuff will also help me convince Ego to let me sell their product because their blowers are so good. Stop messing around with these darn big bulky plugged in versions when you can do a Ego blower like I did and walk around the car without any impediments. A single 5 amp hour battery, just use it for like on turbo mode for like 20 minutes straight. Works fine. OG tire dressing, spray away from the car, a couple of spritzes, and brush it on. I'll come back. We're going to vacuum out the interior real fast. So we'll just kind of leave this sit. And at the very end of the project, that's when I'll finish it up by wiping off the excess, wiping it flat. Gosh, the Michelins look so much cooler than the Dunlops. Just topping it off, keeping it topped. I always wipe the excess off the brush so it doesn't get caked on there. A couple of nibs sticking out, that's not good. You can't have that. Friends don't let friends have nibs on their Cup 2s. Got another tote. The hardest part right now is sourcing sprayers. Tolco, all the major spray, pump sprayer, or whatever this, not pump sprayer, but trigger sprayers are sold out. Waiting more. It's like trying to get a mask. I'm so pleased with how these wheels came out. So glad I got them. Really got to get into vacuums at some point here because I'm dreading getting the vacuum out right now. That is part of Wash Bay 2.0, is I really need to have a darn central vac. I don't have to get it out. I hate doing interiors so much. I need to make it so that I don't hate it. Remember, we just talked about one project at a time. I don't need it all tomorrow. Let's take the vacuum out, clean up the interior real quickly. The interior is not super dirty.
We're doing, this is a shop vac professional 5 gallon, 6.5 horse little thinger
vacuum. Works pretty well.
I'm not a linings in the carpet kind of guy. That's for puke minivans, for soccer moms to feel like they got their money's worth on their $200 detail. It's not really my bag. I just want to get it clean. It's not super dirty in here, so. Alright, that's it for vacuuming. Just a little bit of P&S interior cleaner. Spray it on the towel. I know a lot of people don't like the smell of this. It's really grown on me. I do like it. I think this may be the first time I've actually wiped the interior down on this car. Can't be. I love these aluminum pedals. It's kind of polarizing. Some people don't like them. They think they look cheesy. I think they're freaking awesome. These are OE Porsche dead pedals, or the dead pedal in brake and gas pedal in. God, an amazing aluminum. All right, that's it, folks. That's a wrap. Let's wipe off the excess on our tires and we'll call it a day. Maybe I'll put the GoPros in and try to go for a drive. That's a wash, people. Full on. My only ask for all this free information I'm providing you is that you honor the source. And you found out about this stuff from me, or I reminded you of it. It's super helpful if you buy it from us. Help me make these videos. Help me chase other things like Milwaukee Project and things like that. Helps me get cool cars like this that I can wash on camera for you and have a chat about life, lessons, learning. Before we wrap it, let's do a little modification here. Something I always do. I normally do it much sooner. We snip this off. See if we can do this without cutting ourselves. Good. Gas cap. Boom. Yes, and I know you can take the gas cap and you put it right here. I get that, but why do I need a leash for that? I don't want any possibility of it ever smacking the fender. So, anyway, thanks for watching. As always, stay tuned for more crazy. I'll keep doing these wash and talks for you as long as you guys keep watching. But thanks for your support. And catch you on the next one. See you soon.